The amazing D'Agostino, he's got big slick ace king of spades.
Yep, and he's not going to limp in, Vince. He is reaching for a stack of chips here.
500.
He's going to make it $500,000. And without hesitation,
I call.
Amnon goes all in with ace-10.
Where was he hiding?
Well, D'Agostino quickly calls him.
Oh, what a time to make your move. He finally picked up a couple cards, but we know that he was a big dog at this point. Ace-10 versus ace-king.
Well, Vince, after what we saw the last hand, anything is possible.
That's true.
And even though right now D'Agostino's about a 3-1 favorite to win this pot, anything can happen, as we've already seen.
Ace-10, ace-king.
Amnon's been battling this tournament for 4 days. It is coming down to this. He finally picks up ace-10, but right now he is very close to extinction.
Well, if I was him, I'd be saying to Grinder, Grinder, you come over here. Pretend like it's you playing this hand. Maybe you'll get lucky.
Guts gets up from the table. Here's the flop. It's a king 8-3. That is big for D'Agostino, hitting his pair of kings.
Well, right now, a dominating favorite, to say the least. For Amnon to win this pot, he's got to hit 2 diamonds, 2 running 10s, or a running jack-queen.
This would be like a jack of diamonds. Make it scary. I know. Watch the jack of diamonds.
Jack of queen.
I bet you anything.
Any odds on the jack or the queen of diamonds?
He must catch 2 runners in a row to win this pot.
And no, the turn cards of 9 of hearts. That's going to do it.
Yep. He is drawing dead, as we say. Amnon Philippi, the 36-year-old from New York City, out in 4th place.
Not everyone has the talent that the Grinder has to suck out on the river. Amnon, it was not supposed to be. A fine effort. He is our 4th place finisher here tonight, and he's going to make $185,000.
Well, Vince, many would say the cream rises. The guys that have had the most experience on the World Poker Tour, the 3 guys left, they are the one battling out for this title and the $1.2 million.
Well, it is very much up to grabs.
The 3 guys that are left have been on 11 WPT final tables. Wow. They're all in their 20s and have all made millions out here on the World Poker Tour. Who's going to take this title?
Action's going to be on the amazing D'Agostino, with this time looks at a king 4 offsuit.
All these guys know, when it comes to short-handed poker, you got to step up your game because the blinds and antes come around faster. You have to widen your range of starting hands. D'Agostino doing that here. He's going to raise it with the king 4.
He raises to 240. Now it's on Eric. Eric with queen 8 says, I'm going to re-raise.
Without hesitation, he comes over the top with queen 8 offsuit. The Grinder disappears, as does D'Agostino. So there you see it. Bold, aggressive poker by Eric E. Doglingeren to take down that pot.
Yes, it is. It goes to show you how when you go down to 3-handed, you open up your game that much more. You take some more chances. It's more about playing the opponent, pushing them around. Guts will usually win when it comes down to short-handed poker.
Well, Vince, short-handed poker and heads-up poker, it's almost like a game of chicken. Whoever's not afraid to make the last bet wins a lot of pots.
All right, action right back on Eric. Let's take a look at his hole cards with the WPT Cam, brought to you by Budweiser. He has 10-7 this time. Well, he goes out.
Does lay it down.
The Grinder with Jack-7.
He's going to limp in.
And now the amazing D'Agostino with a junky little 3-deuce.
Well, he's got the 2 lowest cards you can pick up, a 3-deuce. He says, give us a flop. And what a flop for him. He's flopped 3 threes.
Star-Spangled Banner going off in his head right now. You flop a set, how to play it.
Look at this. Mizrachi leading right out and betting into him.
Gotta love that.
Now let's see how D'Agostino plays the 3 threes. Will he slow play him, or is he coming over the top? Vince, he is going to raise it here. He's making it $300,000 to go.
Very interesting.
And by making that raise, it almost looks to Mizrachi like D'Agostino's just trying to steal the pot from him.
Well, yeah, because he's thinking, listen, if this guy had a king, wouldn't he have raised before the flop? And if he had 3 of a kind, I don't think he would have raised. He'd have slow played, so he must not have anything. That's what Grinder at this point might be thinking.
Well, Grinder's problem is that he has nothing.
220 there? Yeah.
That is true. Right. You can get away from the hand and believe the guy, but no, this is the Grinder.
Wow, he is betting $600,000, Vince, with absolutely nothing.
Well, he doesn't believe. This is such a good play by Dags.
Well, look at John D'Agostino's girlfriend here. That's Maria Lena. She can't believe what's going on here, but little does she know her man is in total command of this hand. He's the one that's got the 3 threes. She's sitting up there with D'Agostino's mother, Janice. his father, John Jr., and his grandfather, John Sr. They're all here watching, and they're all holding their breath right now.
Well, John D'Agostino put the big piece of cheese on the rat trap. And guess who fell in? The grinder.
See how D'Agostino plays it. He just calls here.
Okie dokie call.
He's hoping the grinder's going to continue to fire at this pot. And D'Agostino's family very worried, but they don't have to be.
Here comes the turn.
He is on cruise control in this hand. Well, the 4 diamonds comes off. Well, the grinder checks here.
Say, hey, if you're going to earn some more money, you better do the betting.
Well, Vince, the grinder has made his move. He made his attempt to win this pot by leading out and then re-raising with absolutely nothing. But once he got called, when it comes King 3-3, chances are he's going to be done with it.
500.
Now look at this. It's a $500,000 bet.
Yep. Well, there's no way grinder can call this bet. He could make a fatal error and come over the top.
Anything's possible with the grinder.
Well, if he does that, Vince, his chips are going to get grinded up, I can tell you, because D'Agostino is going nowhere with the 3-3s.
Well, D'Agostino, look at, he finally goes away, but D'Agostino made the great play by raising with the 3 of a kind. He did not do the obvious. He didn't play it slow. He had grinder completely baffled. Grinder saying, if you had a king, you would have raised before the flop. If you had 3-3s, you wouldn't have raised me. So I think you have me beat. I'm going to take a stab at this. Totally worked for D'Agostino.
I would agree. It fooled the grinder into thinking D'Agostino was just making a move at that pot, and the grinder put in $600,000 more because of it.
Well, we have 3 great young players. This is a lot of fun.
These are phenomenal poker players, all 3 of these guys, all of them in their 20s, all of them millionaires out here on the World Poker Tour.
They're rich. They're trying to get richer. Don't go away. We're coming back with more on the World Poker Tour.
I gotta say, this is the most interesting final table I've ever been on. I have all my friends on the final table. It's like we're playing like a home game almost.
I wouldn't call the competition friendly.
Like I said, we're all friends, but I'm looking to break everyone.
I think like, even on day 1 we were talking trash, but of course we're kind of kidding.
Yeah, it's slightly joking.
Well, there's no friends in poker, that's number 1. But today we just fight, we try killing each other.
Welcome back to Atlantic City, the Borgata Poker Classic. I'm Vince Van Patten alongside Mike Sexton, where 3 players remain.
Right now, our current chip leader, John D'Agostino, with a little over $4 million in chips. In second place, Eric Lindgren with about $2.8 million. And Michael the Grinder Mizrachi in third place with a little over $2.6 million. Anybody's game, no doubt about that.
Let's go back down to the table on the amazing D'Agostino. Peeks down at a Queen 8 offsuit.
Gonna lay it down. Eric Lindgren out of the small blind looks at ace high. He's got ace-y deucey. See what he's going to do.
300.
He's going to make it 300,000 to go.
Into the grinder, who has King 3 of spades. Let's see if that'll shake him. Not quite.
Well, he's got position on Eric Lindgren. He likes to see a lot of flops. So it's ace deuce for Eric, King 3 for the grinder. And the flop comes Jack 5-4 with 2 spades.
Eric checks.
Eric has a wheel draw, as we say. The grinder has a flush draw.
Yeah, he's got 4 to the flush.
Yet both players check. Grinder taking the conservative route here.
With the turn.
And the queen of spade comes up. And notice what's happened now. Eric Lindgren has the nut flush draw. He has the ace of spade, but the grinder has a king high flush.
But that's not going to slow down Eric. On the come, he's betting $240,000 into the grinder.
And look at this, because the grinder did not bet on the flop. There's no way Eric is going to put him on a flush in this hand, Vince.
He says he's going to raise this.
Well, let's see how much he raises it. This could spell trouble for E-Dog here. Even though he doesn't have a hand, he has a big drawing hand.
Oh, well, that's a $500,000 raise.
Raises 500,000.
Into Eric Lindgren.
Well, let's see if the camouflage check on the flop is going to help here. What is E-Dog going to do now? You're just not going to assume the guy's got a flush just because the queen of spade popped out there. And remember, no matter what the grinder has, Eric knows he's got outs to win this pot because he has the ace of spade. Eric E-Dog Lindgren trying to figure out what to do. You better be a little careful here, Vince.
Well, he let the push around his little buddy that sucked out on him a few hands back.
He's not going to push him around this end.
We know that.
Small.
And he's going all in right here.
And he gets a quick call, of course, from the grinder.
Of course, the grinder quickly calls him with a king-eye flush. Eric is not drawing dead.
Give me the little
If a
look
spade
back.
comes up, he will win this pot with a larger flush. But right now, he is in bad shape. Over a 4-to-1 underdog to stay alive in this tournament.
He has you. He does, yeah. What do you have?
All set up by the slow play by the grinder after hitting it. He is going to get paid off unless a ridiculous card comes out.
Well played.
And that can happen because we've seen it before tonight.
Well, maybe it's my turn.
Eric Lindgren hoping and praying for a spade.
Here we go with the last card, the cash card. Will he suck out?
Well, it's an 8 of clubs.
He didn't do it.
The grinder sits back down, and his friends and family are going berserk in the crowd. Vince, here's a guy that finished second last week on the World Poker Tour, and he just took one large step toward capturing a title tonight.
Well, Eric Lindgren stun-gunned with that hand. His third WPT title just slipping away before our very eyes.
Well, you're right, Vince. He was a star quarterback on his high school football team, but right now, he's got to feel like he's a tackling dummy.
And the antes are going up to 15,000. The blinds are going to be 60 and 120 grand. The grinder with about 5 million now. D'Agostino with 4.3, and Eric down to his last 150,000.
What makes it worse is he's got 120,000 out there in the big blind.
Eric's playing it blind.
So he's only got a few thousand left. Eric says, I'm playing it all in the blind.
Action on the grinder.
I'm not going to look
Look at this, the grinder picking up a pair of sixes.
I
Now,
call.
normally you might raid in a three-handed game, but in this situation, you're going to allow the other guy to come into the pot.
Well, you're
Because
right.
in truth,
I know one of them.
you don't care if the other guy knocks out Eric right now because you move up over 300,000 in real money and have a shot to play for this title.
Well, he is called, and D'Agostino with a king six is going to be in as well. So two guys ganging up on the one. Will he be able to eject him?
The one I looked at's not bad.
Three-way action, and Eric
We get the full sweat.
I wasn't sure if you said one.
feeling like roadkill, and the buzzards are getting restless.
Well, he's got a chance to triple up here to take the first step back. Let's see if he can do it. Flop comes ace, king, 7. John leads right out and bet 75,000.
No.
Well, he's got to have a hand to do that. He's got the 2 kings.
And is Rocky out? So look at this.
And I got
Well, Eric Lindgren is going to have to hit 2 runners to win this pot, whether it be 2 cards to make a straight, 2 cards to make trips or 2 pair, or 2 diamonds to make a flush.
Otherwise, it is happy trails back to Vegas for Eric. Let's see the turn. And he gets the diamond.
The diamond comes off. Well, he's got the flush draw.
That's right.
So at least he's got a flicker of hope here, Vince. It is not over. He can catch a diamond and stay alive in this tournament.
Let's see if he gets it. No, not to be.
Well, he needed a diamond. He didn't get it. 10 of spades comes off. It's hugs all around. These guys totally respect each other. They love to compete. They love to battle each other on the green felt. And Eric Lindgren, 2-time winner on the World Poker Tour, is going to have to wait a while to get that 3rd WPT title, man.
We are down to 2 players at the Borgata Poker Classic. And first, we're going to have our money presentation.
And out come the Borgata Babes, Vince, with the cash.
Easy, Mike, easy.
Oh, boy, I'll tell you. Borgata must have their own line of underwear, Vince. These are some Borgata Babes, I can tell you that, folks.
They come out with the chips and the beautiful bracelet.
Oh, life is good on the World Poker Tour, folks. Well, the Borgata Babes are about to unveil the surprise that the winner's going to get in addition to the cash and the entry into the WPT Championship.
Here it is.
And here it comes, folks. There it is. A brand new Cadillac Escalade, courtesy of Borgata.
And look who's in the back is Doyle Brunson.
What a tremendous gesture on the part of the Borgata.
A new car as well as close to $1.2 million. Who's going to take the title? We're coming right back here on the World Poker Tour. Welcome back to the Borgata Poker Classic in Atlantic City. I'm Vince Van Patten alongside Mike Sexton, and the macho match is about to begin.
Well, right now, Our chip leader is Michael the Grinder Mizrachi with about 4.9 million. He's up against John D'Agostino, who's got about 4.6 million.